And it's with great pleasure that I introduce the wonderful movie star, graphic novelist, and all-round top bloke, Liam Neeson. Welcome back to Talking Istanbullocks, Liam. It's great to see you again.
Thanks very much, Jimmy. It's good of you to have me on again.
So, Liam, what have you been up to?
Not much, Pottering around in my big mansion, thinking of creative ideas and eating Cheetos mainly.
Wow, sounds very busy. Now, I'm not sure if you wanted to come and talk about eating Cheetos, did you?
I could probably do that. Why not? They're a crunchy corn puff snack with...
Why don't we talk about your latest project?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Should I start?
Yes, please.
Sorry, I just have to readjust my trouser. Wait a minute. That's better. The troops are back in the trenches now.
Now, I hear that you're working on a pilot for a major new TV serial called...
Yes, the Carusos.
So, what is it, and where did the idea come from?
Thank you. Yes, last summer I was in this wee restaurant in Las Vegas called Carusos. Really posh, and I couldn't work out what to have. I was looking through the menu at these wonderful names like spaghetti puttanesca, rigatoni, parmigiano reggiano, and garlic bread, when it occurred to me that Italian has this wonderful rhythm, and all the words and names of people have a consonant-vowel pattern. Anyway, after I'd had my especially ordered deep pan pizza, I went home and Googled Caruso's restaurant, and by accident stumbled across the famous opera singer, Enrico Caruso.
Was he the one who hemorrhaged on stage?
Yes, but he was also arrested for pinching a woman's buttocks, or goosing, as I prefer to call it, at New York Zoo, although he went to his grave maintaining his innocence, saying that a monkey did it.
Well, that's quite a story. So how did this lead to your next project?
Well, it got me thinking that Caruso probably needed therapy and how it wasn't really accessible back then, especially in macho Italian culture. Quite sad, really, but that's where I got the idea to start writing the Carusos.
So it's about opera singers then?
Ha! That's the clever thing about it, Jimmy. That's what you'd think, but it's going to be about a family called the Carusos. I decided to put a more modern spin on it because nobody listens to opera these days, and that's a scientific fact. So I had to think of something more viable for an Italian living in the New York area in the modern day. Logic dictates that Tommy, the protagonist, would either have to be the owner of an Italian restaurant or a mafia boss.
Could that not be considered a bit of a cliché about Italian Americans, Liam?
Not really, Jimmy. You see, I've done the research, and over 100% of Italian restaurant owners and Cosa Nostra members in New York and New Jersey are either Italian or of Italian descent.
So tell us about Tommy. What's his last name?
Don't be obtuse. It's fecking Caruso. Tommy Caruso.
I'm sorry. Do go on.
I was inspired by Enrico Caruso needing therapy for the whole goosing thing, and as I started to map out Tommy's persona, I began to see this ordinary middle-aged guy, just like you or me, Jimmy, living in his big mansion with a wife and 2 kids, the annoying Russian girlfriend, the narcissistic mother, etc., etc. But Tommy also has to counterpoise that with the demands of being a major figure in the world of organized crime.
I have a funny feeling here.
Would you like a Gaviscon, by the way?
No, that's fine.
I always carry some in my lunchbox.
Thank you, though. Tell us more about Tommy Caruso and his journey.
Well, Tommy's got a lot on his plate, you see. Somewhere inside him, there's a likable guy, but his job's very tough with all the extortion and having to brutally murder and kill informants. But the world's changing, and Tommy's not blind to this, though he's firmly rooted in his past. He tries to switch off from his hectic work schedule and all the booze and hookers, but he starts to get depressed as his only real solace is watching ducks. Anyway, when a duck craps in his pool, he loses his shit and has this full-on panic attack and decides, even though he can never tell anyone, that he needs professional help.
From a therapist?
Well, I wouldn't be talking about a bloody vet specializing in duck diarrhea, would I?
For God's sake!
You fucking buck Egypt!
None taken. So, he seeks help from the therapist, right? Would she, by any chance, be an attractive, gentle, and intelligent middle-aged woman?
How the hell did you know that? Did Vagella give you the script?
No, it's just a hunch that I might know where this could be going. Is she called Dr. Melfi by any chance?
No, her name's Dr. Adelphi. It's a completely different name altogether. It starts with an A, for God's sake.
Do go on.
Well, Dr. Adelphi is this attractive, middle-aged Italian-American woman. She's everything Tommy's never experienced in a woman before, but things get complicated when Tommy starts to develop feelings for her. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this on our screens before.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of drama in store for Tommy Caruso, but Liam, I can't help but think it bears some similarities to the
No, it does not! The Carusos is a completely original concept. Sure, it's got some mobster elements, but it's a whole different story. Nobody could rewrite The Godfather, you know, Jimmy. It'd be preposterous. Anyway, if I can continue without being rudely interrupted.
Sure.
Thank you. So as I was saying, he has this dilemma where he needs to open up to Dr. Adelphi, but he can't tell her about having to brutally murder and kill informants. So he talks about ducks and cannoli and stuff instead.
So is this going to be a movie?
Actually, I've decided to develop it as a major TV serial, Jimmy. There's just so much depth to explore with these characters and their intertwining lives. I'll be writing and directing it myself.
Well, that's great. I'm just a bit worried. It might sound like it's The Sopranos, isn't it? You've rewritten The Sopranos.
How dare you? You can give me back that Gaviscon now for starters. If you're going to be mean to me, I'm taking back my fast-acting heartburn and indigestion relief, so you can stick it up your hole. You can stick it up your arse.
I'm too sexy for your party, too sexy for your party. The way I'm disco dancing.
The interview was cut short at this point as Liam received a text from HBO and David Chase's lawyers, but we do hope that we can catch up with him again in the near future.